Hey y'all, iRick Sky here, and I promise to keep everyone up to date in regards to my Vizio. That's the Vizio 40-inch 4K TV. And if you watched my first video, you probably saw the failure that I was encountering immediately after connecting it for the first time. Now, thanks to y'all's feedback, and multiple people commented on my previous video, and I really appreciate that. Thanks to y'all's feedback, I've now got the TV in a better state. So now I can more confidently power it on with the Vizio remote. I can power it on with the Vizio remote, and then it's going to come up to SmartCast, and it's going to say this terms and conditions thing. Now what this is, and I don't want to pat one person on the back because so many of y'all had great suggestions. I changed the language from English to Spanish. I also changed, I did the reset again, but several of y'all commented about, well, after you do the reset, then what you want to do is not connect it to, do not connect it to Wi-Fi, because what happens if you connect it to Wi-Fi, then it connects to the internet, then it automatically downloads the update. You don't have a choice. It's going to download the newest firmware. It's going to brick it, at least at the time of posting this video. So what I've done now, I've done a rollback. So I did the reset to factory settings, but when it got to the part where it was asking for me to select my wireless network and enter the wireless network password, I just skipped that. And it's like, are you sure? Yeah, I'm sure. I don't want it to brick my TV again. This is ridiculous. So now what I've got is a TV that I can turn on somewhat confidently. I still don't have the warm and fuzzies about it. But when I push input, now I can see all my inputs. I got SmartCast, Airplay. Let's see, which one did I just go to? I went to Airplay. Of course, none of that's going to work without the Wi-Fi set up, but I don't care about that, because what I care about is when I go to input Fire TV stick. Now I've got my Fire TV stick, and when I'm here, oh wait, I don't. Select Fire TV stick and then click OK. So now I've got my Fire TV stick. So this is all I care about. I don't care about anything else, because I can go to my Fire TV stick, which has its Wi-Fi configured. So, and now I can turn the TV on and off with my Fire TV remote. When I turn it back on, it should go directly to Fire TV. And sure enough, it does. There you go. So it goes back to Fire TV. So for my purposes, I now have a functional TV that I can somewhat confidently power on and power off, and feel that it may come back up and may let me get back to Fire TV. What I still do not have is the ability to use Airplay, which Airplay is great. I've got this in my YouTube studio. So one of the reasons I got this TV was the built-in Airplay. My expectation is that I can use Airplay from my Mac and make this a fourth monitor of sorts. If I'm doing if I'm filming a video, I could see on the TV what's going on if I wanted to. So I do want the networking to become functional, but I'm not going to add the SSID and password again until Vizio has provided me with 100% level of certainty that, hey, that firmware is going to work. And your TV is going to work like it should. Because right now, see, if I power this back on with the Vizio remote, I think it's still going to go to Fire TV, which is good. But then if I change input, let's just say go to an input HDMI 2 where I don't have anything plugged in. See, if I push home on Fire TV remote or on Vizio remote, home still doesn't work. There's just, well, wait, actually I hit home. Okay, it goes to that. So it goes back to SmartCast. You can tell I don't have any of the Vizio Smart TV menus, which makes sense because it's not connected to the network. But what I also don't have is this SmartCast coming on with the latest firmware and bricking the TV as soon as it comes on. So at least now, if for some reason it didn't go to my Fire TV, I can at least push input on here and then go to Fire TV. So I've got a somewhat acceptable workaround in place. And I don't like workarounds, because a workaround is just basically the way of saying, hey, we messed up and we pushed something into production before it was ready to be in production. Now see, what I would have done, but because my space is so tight, I would have just gone with a competitor's TV at this point, because it's irritated me so much. But because this is 40 inches and it's 4K, this is about the biggest TV I was going to get to fit like this. And, Vizio, if you're watching this, I do have your soundbar. I've ordered that, and I'm going to be mounting it here because, the reviews for your soundbar were outstanding. Now, obviously, I ordered my soundbar, my Vizio soundbar, before I, thoroughly tested this TV and discovered that it's bugged. Whether it's firmware issue like your support group claims, which I hope it is, or something else, I went ahead and ordered that soundbar. Otherwise, I probably would have went with a competitor's product. So, guys, you got a lot of catching up to do with me, Vizio. And I will say the picture quality on this is outstanding on my Fire TV. So, you've got one thing going well for me, and that's the picture quality for my Fire TV. But you got to fix these bugs. It's not like a television is if it doesn't work, it's the end of the world. What's bad is that as a customer, I purchased this Vizio TV with the expectation it was going to be reliable. And if I don't have a reliable TV, I should have gone with competitor's brand. And this is the first Vizio product I bought. All my other TVs are LG, had no problems with them. I do have one TV, it's a Toshiba, it's a cheap Amazon Fire integrated. And it's good. But I will say, out of all my TVs, this TV has the best picture quality. So, let's get this fixed. And it's at least encouraging that I can, thanks to my viewers out there, the feedback that y'all provided, I can at least more confidently power it on and off now and not have to cross my fingers and potentially have to go into this closet right here and pull the power plug. So, I just turned it back on. I'll turn it on with the Fire TV remote now. Watch this. Let's see. There it goes. It's coming up. Now, I don't want to get too cocky, because if I get too cocky, that's when this thing will break. It'll completely brick. So, I don't want that. I like the way this looks. I mean, I got a laser level out, and I made this thing perfectly level. I put a lot of time and energy into this. And a lot of research, because I've got these weird walls, and there's not a lot of room, and I've got this light switch right here. So if I'd gone with a competitor's TV that was close to this size, it would have somewhat obstructed that light switch, and it wouldn't have been as good. And see this right here, because I measured, the base of the TV is on the top of the light switch. That is high class. It's a good looking TV. It really is, and it's just a shame. It is a shame, but I appreciate my viewers, because y'all have gotten me to the point to where this doesn't bother me. Yeah, I'm mad. I'm mad because I want Airplay to work. I'm mad because I want everything that I bought to work. But I can survive because I can use my Fire TV. And then in my mind, I can look at Airplay as a future enhancement when and if Vizio gets their stuff together and fixes the firmware. Why can't you just offer this is an older firmware, but roll back to the old firmware? Why force the firmware update that is bricking the TV? Let your customers roll back to a working firmware. Sure, your company may produce better firmwares in the future, but don't push those out until they're tested. And if they are pushed out and they're not tested, allow your customers to roll back so they can at least use their TV with an older firmware. Maybe it doesn't have all the features, but at least it's reliable. And that's why I'm so mad. Technology frustrates me at times, but I'm gonna try it again. I'm getting cocky here. I'm gonna turn this on. Is it gonna come back on? It did. So again, thank you all viewers. Seriously, it may not seem like a big deal. I mean, this is a budget TV, but it's a nice TV. I like it. The picture quality is outstanding, and it just pains me for anything, whether it's $100 or a few $1,000. I mean, this was just not much over 100 or whatever, but it doesn't matter. It's not the price paid. It's the expectation that is set for the customer then and going forward. And this being my first Vizio product, I don't have the warm and fuzzies. and I'm hoping I don't run into problems with my soundbar. What's going to happen with it? Am I going to power it on and smoke going to come out of it? I mean, my confidence level has really been slapped in the face. So we'll see what happens. And I'm going to give Vizio benefit of the doubt for this, and hopefully I'll get the firmware out, and hopefully I'll have Airplay running on this and making this just an additional monitor for my Mac in a few days. That would be wonderful. But most importantly, everyone stay safe. I've got a scratchy throat, and I hope it's not the COVID-19. There's bigger things to worry about than a 40-inch LCD, HDR TV, high dynamic range. So, stay safe. But if you are staying safe and you want to stay safe and quarantine and have a TV that works, that would be great too. So tell me what you think within the comment section below. And again, if y'all find a fix for this that enables everything to work, let me know. Likewise, if Vizio support gets back with me and they say, hey, it's fixed, here's how to download the fixed update, firmware update or whatever. If that happens, I'll be posting a follow-up video. And if this breaks, I'll be posting a follow-up video for that too. I think it's important that we all communicate. Thanks for your viewership, and be sure to subscribe. It's youtube.com/IRIXGuy. And I do want to point out, I'm not here to bash a product. Again, this TV, the picture quality is the best 4K picture quality of any TVs that I've got. So, they've nailed that. But the rest, to be determined. Hey y'all, Captain IRIXGuy here. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to subscribe. It's youtube.com/IRIXGuy. And ring that bell icon when you do to be notified whenever I post another video. Thanks for your viewership, and y'all have a good day.